Welcome back to another episode of new VR camera in 2021 since Insta360 Titan launched almost 1 year ago. Today, Kandao finally launched their high-end cinematic 360 VR camera, the Kandao Obsidian Pro. This 25-pound spaceship-looking camera has some of the most impressive specs that the VR industry has never seen before. A APS-C high-quality image sensor, 12K 3D 360 in 12-bit RAW or 10-bit 422, adjustable aperture from f2.8 to f16, just wow! Before showing you some exclusive 3D 360 sample footage in Cinema DNG stitched by me and Roman from Mistika VR, and detailed side-by-side comparison with the Insta360 Titan, Kitty is going to watch the launch trailer with you for the first time. Let's see her reaction.
Obsidian Pro. Let's see what you got. I'm excited. Ooh, large sensors. Okay. Panoramic view. Video, I mean. 8 lenses synchronized. Okay, that's a huge thing. You have to have all your cameras synchronized. That would be a train wreck if it wasn't. 12-bit, 10-bit. Okay. Aperture. Adjustable aperture. That's exciting. Ooh, focus distance control. I've never seen that on a VR camera. That, wow. Amazing. Okay. Ooh, so epic. Okay. When can I get my hands on one of these cameras? I just want one. I want one right now. Send it over, China. Send it over. Ooh, low light imaging quality. Okay, they've got a touch screen that's interactive. Okay. Most cameras have that these days. What else you got? Okay, it looks like they have a nice cooling system. Okay, that's helpful, especially in the summertime in California. Ooh, it's got those little antennas. That's so cute. Ooh, Kandao. Surprise. What? Why am I in this video? Get down on it. It's my little finger thing. Pew, 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 pew. Get down on it.
Wait, you're not supposed to watch that. That's the next video I'm working on.
Hey! Why did you put it in the thing?
I did not. It's a playlist. It's autoplay.
No, it is not. It's totally in this video, Hugh. What are you doing? This is not TikTok. It's YouTube.
Put all joke aside, this is a very impressive camera. I managed to get actual footage from the camera in Kandao RAW format, which is 12-bit. I convert them into a Cinema DNG sequence, and then I work with Roman from SGO Mistika in Europe to develop a very special Mistika VR template to stitch these raw files into a 12K by 12K 3D 360 video in ProRes 4444. You won't see this from Kandao as they are probably not too happy about me stitching their first beta test footage. As a VR cinematographer who works for you, my viewers, I really want to show you the result before even Kandao can. So to help you better understand what this camera might be able to capture. Well, you know, YouTube compression and you cannot really see 3D 360 on YouTube. So I provide the 4K ProRes 4444 stitch sample to download for free. Link in the description down below. You should first load that up in Premiere or DaVinci Resolve or just Photoshop to see the frame-by-frame image quality, and then you can download the H.265 8K and 6K 3D version for silo on your Oculus Quest 2 right there. Yes, I did my best to make your life easier to examine the footage. No other on the internet will be passionate enough to do all this work for free. So please give this video a big thumb up. Drop me a thank you comment down below if you really appreciate my above and beyond hard work. It is hard to talk about a cinematic VR camera without a reference to another very popular cinematic VR camera, and that is Insta360 Titan. Since I shot with the Titan many times, from job for Oculus on their Quest 2 launch commercial to VR music video with well-known artists like Hyperveil, Shade, I can draw a lot of reference from my experience and tell you my personal perspective from what I know so far. First, let's talk about max resolution. Titan is 10K in 3D in 30 frames per second. Obsidian Pro is 12K in 3D in 30 frames per second. Right now, no VR headset can see this high resolution. Titan is already overkilled. Obsidian Pro will be a next level overkill. It is like the camera manufacturers are flexing to one another. So I don't want you to be too hung up on the number. Obsidian Pro does listen to the professional filmmaker community requests and offering out of the box 5760 by 5760 6K 60 frames per second for Oculus Quest 2. This is the resolution I will be shooting professionally on the Obsidian Pro until Oculus Quest 3s come out with a more impressive spec. Let's look at the individual lens level to see how much actual resolution and detail we get per lens. On the left, we have Obsidian Pro in 1424 by 1626. On the right, we have Insta360 Titan in 3072 and 4800. If you show 100% here, you can see Obsidian Pro can capture a lot more details at a further distance than Titan shooting in its max resolution. So Obsidian Pro will be great for nature and tourism VR video where distant details are important. Now let's look at color bit depth. Obsidian Pro can shoot raw video in 12-bit. Titan can shoot H.265 compressed video in 10-bit. What does that mean? All this 12-bit, 10-bit, 8-bit are very confusing if you are not a colorless. So let me show it visually. Here is a frame from the Obsidian Pro. I did some color grading in DaVinci Resolve to the best of my knowledge. I really pulled down the highlight so you can see the sun, which was not there in the original footage. Same as the shadow. A lot more details are recovered in the Theodore area right here, as you can see. This is a lot more pleasing image than what the camera initially captured. That is why all professional film or commercial will spend thousands of dollars on hiring a colorist to color the video. Well, let's look at the exact same color grading on an H.265 10-bit footage from my Insta360 Titan. Yes, it is really bad. You see bending in the sky immediately. The sun is not able to be recovered using the same color grading techniques. On the shadow, you wouldn't be able to see on YouTube, but in Premiere, you can see compression artifacts caused by H.265, which is not there in the Kandao raw file. It is kind of like coloring a raw file versus coloring a PNG, well, a 10-bit PNG. Having 12-bit is probably the biggest selling point of Obsidian Pro. Even you are not a colorist, you should know that. Beware though, Obsidian Pro capture humongous file in RAW, just like R3D or Blackmagic RAW, but in 12K by 12K. So your MacBook Pro wouldn't be able to even touch those footage. So it can shoot RAW does not mean you should shoot RAW. Let's look at 3D stitching. I overlaid the Titan footage on top of the Obsidian Pro, as you can see. Obsidian Pro captured the entire top and bottom without any cropping. Titan crop your top and bottom, so That is why it is so hard to stitch the Nadir and Zenith on Titan. Also, Obsidian Pro has a slightly wider FOV in the sensor level, meaning greater overlap in 3D stitching. With the help of Mistika VR, you can generally have a better time than Titan. This does not mean 3D stitching is going to be easy. It is easier than Titan, but still nowhere compared to Google eHalo or Giant, which has a lot more lenses and 3D overlap. This is my biggest disappointment on this camera. Getting stitching right is by far the most expensive job in the entire VR production pipeline, and this camera is not solving it. You see, I run into stitching problem in the sample footage already for the guy who is really close to the camera. I hope Kandao official AI-powered stitcher can solve this, but Mistika VR manual stitch by me so far need more overlap to really solve this stitching in both left and right eye. Talking about stitching, Mistika VR is going to offer 3 months free for people who are buying the Obsidian Pro, which is like $300 in value. Not like Titan, Mistika VR is going to support Obsidian Pro 9-axis stabilization gyro data out of the box. So if you are planning to fly the Obsidian Pro on a drone, this is really good news. I am glad Kandao open sourced their gyro on the get-go so third-party software can support it. Therefore, creators like us will have a better time instead of logging into only one solution. Let's talk about the sensor. Obsidian Pro uses a APS-C sensor, which is the largest compared to all other VR camera in the market. Both Insta360 Titan and Zcam V1 Pro use MFT. You can see the visual comparison right here. Noticeable to mention, the sensor they use also has a large pixel size. This helps reduce noise in low light. This can be the best VR camera in concert and nighttime shooting. Insta360 Titan is already really great at that, but Obsidian Pro will be even better. New unheard of features are introduced in Obsidian Pro: adjustable focal distance and electronic aperture control. So for monoscopic and stereoscopic footage, we can focus on the close-up subject just like any other 2D cinematic camera. It is a strange concept for old school VR filmmaker, but I cannot wait to try that creatively in storytelling. Having the ability to control aperture also helps you to create more cinematic looking footage. Shutter speed or shutter angle is important in 2D film, but not so sure in VR. Motion blur in general make people sick in VR headset. Having the ability to go f16 though is great for run and gun VR documentary where we can't wait on the sun. So Kandao also mentioned the possibility of using AI to turn 12K 30 frames per second into 12K 60 frames per second. But again, it is kinda irrelevant if Oculus Quest 2 cannot even play that. Also, the quality is not that great, so I wouldn't suggest that. 4K proxy file for rough cut. The proxy files are in 4K, so better quality than Titan. I'm just glad they finally did that so you can go straight from editing instead of waiting for proxy generation. Another big announcement and professional feature is the 8-in-1 monster SSD. This thing comes in 4TB, 8TB, and 16TB, and the writing speed is 22,160 megabits per second when you are capturing 12-bit RAW. This is more than impressive if you are in the professional video world. That is why we invest so much money on the RAD storage for a RAD cinema camera. Having the ability to shoot and edit RAW is amazing. But I can envision this SSD is going to be very, very expensive. A 16TB storage allows you to capture 90 minutes in RAW or 100 minutes in OI422. Yes, it is not a lot. You better have funding before you even consider this camera. This camera is designed from the ground up for professional filmmaker. It finally has a full-feature LCD screen just like the Kandao Coolcam 8K or Insta361X2. For run-and-gun VR documentary, this is a great improvement. You can use the professional VR camera as easy as a consumer 360 camera, which is great for beginners. It also comes with some of the fastest connection the industry has to offer. It has 10GB Ethernet input for 8K plus 3D livestream. It uses the latest Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.0 for phones and tablets that support it. This means less connection drop and greater reach. If you shoot with the old Kandao Obsidian R or S, you know what I'm talking about. They go for a different route compared to Insta360 Titan far side. I don't know how good this Wi-Fi 6 really is. You will need to subscribe to Creator Up to see the actual distance test when I have the Obsidian Pro unit in May. 3D spatial audio is so important for 360 filmmakers. You should know it by now. If not, check out this series right here or my VR filmmaking masterclass right here. Obsidian Pro supports all popular first-order Ambisonic microphone, but it also supports 8-channel second-order Ambisonic mic with USB-C direct connection. So this can be the first camera to support my Voyage Audio 8-channel spatial mic. If you heard the microphone, you know how much better compared to just first-order Ambisonic. If you don't have any spatial mic, Obsidian Pro also natively has 8 microphones to support Ambisonic in both first-order and second-order Facebook format. How clear are the sound? We will see. The Obsidian Pro uses liquid cooling system just like the Techie 360 Anywhere, so the camera could be silenced during capture. Well, again, I don't know. This is just my guessing and my wishful thinking. We will find out in May together. Finally, Obsidian Pro supports the film industry standard power supply, V-Log battery. So, if you have lots of them from your RV Alexa, Sony Venice or Red, you can reuse them instead of spending money to buy specialty battery. Pricing. We don't know how expensive this camera can be. I can guess it will be more than Insta360 Titan, which is $15,000 US. I think it will be a lot more considering all the professional features. Kandao is going for the RE Alexa of VR camera, so expect to pay the price. In conclusion, it is too good to be true at this point, and I know you cannot wait to see some real-world footage captured with this camera. I will have a beta camera in May to run some tests and do an in-depth hands-on review for you. Like Insta360 Titan, I am also going to do a tutorial series from shooting to post-production to help you use this camera for your films or projects. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you want the same image quality and you don't care about stereoscopic 3D, I have a way cheaper alternative for you. Shooting Nodo 260 with Sony Alpha 1 and Antenna Fisheye lens right here. This is a full frame sensor camera, so it's bigger than Obsidian Pro, and the image quality is gonna be stunning. If you want to see that, don't miss my next tutorial. Ciao for now.